Welcome back to K-pop and juice, where we don't just sip the tea, we spill it fresh, hot, juicy, and completely unfiltered. If you're here, you already know the energy. We bring you the moments that make fans scream, cry, rewind, and replay over and over again. And today's story? It's not just tea, it's emotion, it's respect. It's the kind of moment that hits you right in the chest and refuses to let go. Because when Eun Woo steps into a military setting and does something as simple yet powerful as an emotional salute to fans, it becomes more than just a gesture. It becomes a moment that defines connection, loyalty, and the unspoken bond between an artist and the people who have stood by him through everything. Let's paint the picture properly, because this isn't something you rush through. The atmosphere at the military band event wasn't your typical flashy idol stage. No blinding neon lights, no screaming choreography, no over-the-top stage effects. Instead, it carried a different kind of energy. Structured, disciplined, yet quietly intense. The kind of setting where every movement carries meaning, where every expression feels more genuine because there's nothing to hide behind. And then there he was. Eun Woo, standing tall in his uniform, embodying a version of himself that fans don't often get to see. Gone was the polished, idol image that dominates red carpets and drama screens. In its place stood a man fulfilling his duty, carrying himself with a calm seriousness that only made him more captivating. But what really shook fans wasn't just his presence, it was what happened next. As the performance came to an end and the atmosphere softened, there was a moment, a pause. The kind of pause that feels small at first, but ends up becoming everything. And in that moment, Eun Woo turned his attention toward the fans. Not in a dramatic, scripted way, not in a this is part of the show kind of gesture, but in a way that felt raw, personal, almost vulnerable. He raised his hand in a salute. Now, if you're thinking it's just a salute, you're missing the point, because this wasn't just any salute. It was slow, deliberate, and filled with emotion that words couldn't fully capture. His expression shifted ever so slightly, still composed, but with a softness in his eyes that fans immediately picked up on. And just like that, the crowd felt it. You could almost hear the collective intake of breath. The realization that this wasn't just a performer acknowledging his audience. This was a man, in the middle of a life chapter that demands discipline and distance, reaching out in the only way he could. For fans, especially those who have followed him for years, it hit differently. Because let's be real, military service is a sensitive period in the life of any South Korean male celebrity. It's a time when the usual constant interaction with fans slows down. Updates become rare, appearances are limited, and that everyday connection that fans are used to suddenly feels distant. So when a moment like this happens, it becomes priceless. What made it even more powerful was the context surrounding it. Eun Woo isn't just any idol. He's someone who has built his career on a balance of talent, visuals, and a personality that consistently comes across as thoughtful and grounded. From his work in dramas to his presence as a member of Astro, he's cultivated an image that feels both aspirational and approachable. And that's exactly why this salute mattered so much. Because it wasn't just about respect, it was about reassurance. Fans have been waiting, watching, and supporting him from afar during this phase. And in that single gesture, it felt like he was saying, I see you. I remember you. I'm still here. Of course, it didn't take long for clips of the moment to start circulating online. And when I say circulating, I mean exploding. Within hours, fan accounts across platforms were sharing the footage, zooming in on his expression, replaying the salute from every possible angle. Comments flooded in, and the reactions were exactly what you'd expect. Emotional, intense, and deeply personal. Some fans admitted they couldn't stop crying after watching it. Others talked about how proud they felt seeing him carry himself with such dignity. And then there were those who simply couldn't get over the contrast. The global superstar they've always known, now standing in uniform, still managing to shine in a completely different environment. But let's not ignore the deeper layer here. Because moments like this also remind fans of the reality behind the glamour. The fact that behind every stage performance, every drama role, every perfectly curated image, there's a real person navigating real responsibilities. And Eun Woo? He handled that reality with a level of grace that didn't go unnoticed. There's something about seeing a celebrity in a setting like this that strips away the usual barriers. It makes everything feel more human, more relatable, more real. And that's exactly what this moment delivered. It also sparked conversations about the way idols maintain their connection with fans during military service. Some choose to keep things minimal, focusing entirely on their duties. Others find subtle ways to remind fans that the bond hasn't disappeared, it's just temporarily quieter. Eun Woo's salute? That falls firmly into the second category. It wasn't loud, it wasn't over the top, but it spoke volumes. And let's talk about the fans again, because they're a huge part of why this moment became what it did. The dedication, the patience, the unwavering support, those things don't just vanish when an idol steps away from the spotlight. If anything, they become stronger. Fans hold on to memories, rewatch old content, and wait for any glimpse, any update, any sign that their favorite artist is doing well. So when Eun Woo gave that salute, it wasn't just him giving something to the fans. It was a response to everything they've been giving him. And that exchange, that's what makes fandom so powerful. Of course, as with any viral moment, there were different interpretations. Some saw it as a simple act of respect, nothing more. Others viewed it as deeply emotional, almost symbolic. And then there were those who analyzed every detail, trying to decode what he might have been feeling in that moment. But maybe the beauty of it lies in the fact that it doesn't need a single definitive meaning, because everyone who watched it felt something. And in a world where content is constantly being consumed and forgotten, that kind of impact is rare. It also adds another layer to Eun Woo's public image. Not just as an entertainer, but as someone who understands the weight of his connection with fans. Someone who knows that even the smallest gesture can carry enormous significance. And let's be honest, this isn't the kind of moment that fades quickly. Fans will remember this, they'll revisit it, they'll talk about it long after his military service ends. It becomes part of his story, part of the narrative that shapes how people see him, not just as a celebrity, but as a person. And when he eventually returns to full public activities, moments like this will only strengthen the bond he already has with his audience. Because loyalty goes both ways. Fans support their idols, and idols in their own ways find moments to give back. Sometimes it's through music, sometimes through performances, and sometimes it's through a simple, heartfelt salute that says more than words ever could. So what do you think? Was this just a respectful gesture, or did you feel something deeper when you watched it? Did it hit you the same way it hit thousands of other fans across the world? Drop your thoughts, because you already know, we're reading everything. And if there's one thing we can take away from this, it's that even in the most structured, disciplined environments, emotion finds a way to break through. And when it does, it reminds us why we care so much in the first place. That's all for today's spill on K-pop and juice. Fresh, hot, juicy, and unfiltered as always. Stay locked in, keep your notifications on, and don't blink, because the next moment that shakes the fandom could drop at any time. Until next time, keep the love strong and the energy louder than ever.